نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم وآله الطاهرين أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وخاتم النبيين بالقاسم محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وأجل فرجهم وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المنتجبين المعصومين المظلومين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وأجل فرجهم ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين من يوم هذا إلى يوم الدين أما بعد فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في قرآنه المجيد وفرقانه الحميد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألهاكم التكاثر حتى زرتم المقابر كلا سوف تعلمون ثم كلا سوف تعلمون كلا لو تعلمون علم اليقين لترون الجحيم ثم لترونها عين اليقين ثم لتسألن يومئذ عن النعيم صدق الله العلي العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, the mutual rivalry for piling up of worldly things diverts you until you visit the graves. This means until you die. Nay, you shall come to know. Again, nay, you shall come to know. Nay, if you knew with a sure knowledge the end result of piling up all these worldly things, you would not have occupied yourselves in worldly things. Verily, you shall see the blazing fire of hell, and again you shall see it with certainty of sight. Then, on that day, you shall be asked about the delights you have indulged in this world. The Holy Prophet ﷺ says, surely humility, which is humbleness, increases one's dignity. Thus, be humble and Allah will upgrade you. Inshallah, we will definitely benefit from the Holy Quran's teachings and Sahib Quran ﷺ's teachings. But before that, I would like to say a humble Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu from everyone here at Kids Planet to everyone watching at home. And today, inshallah, we shall talk about personal development, how we can improve and maintain and upgrade and build our own personality in the light of Quran Pak and other Islamic values. And especially today's focus will be on humility, which is undoubtedly a very important aspect and characteristics which we should all have. And we shall discuss about what Allah has taught us about humility, what the Holy Prophet ﷺ has taught us, and what his holy progeny ﷺ has taught us about humility. Of course, humility is extremely important for anyone, but especially those mu'min who believe in the pious personalities of the Ahl Bayt ﷺ. And Allah Almighty has deemed it to be one of the indications of pure devotion to Him, humility. Allah Almighty has said that humility is one of the indications of pure devotion to Him. In fact, He has also mentioned in the Holy Quran, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, and the servants of the compassionate are they who walk in the ground humbly, and when the ignorant address them, they say peace. Now this portrait drawn by the Holy Quran, by Allah Almighty, shows us that humility leads to a state of tranquility, dignity and modesty. Similarly, Imam Ali al-Islam, when he speaks about pious people, he says, their gait is humility. Now, what does this mean by their gait? I'm sure you're all wondering, my participants, and at home you might be wondering, what does it mean by Imam Ali alayhi salam saying their gait is humility? Well, just a bit of background information first. A lot can be said about a man's character, about the way they walk, their gait. And so Imam Ali alayhi salam says, what defines a righteous, a good person is the gait of humility. Therefore, if we, all of us, and all of you watching at home, want to be a righteous, good person, if we want to get into heaven, then humility and humbleness is especially special for us. Now, that's a bit about what we're going to discuss today. And now I think it's time for a little introduction of who's joining me today. And as usual, I'll request everyone to put their hands up when I say their name. Okay, so everyone at home can link the faces with the names and so recognize you. So first of all, we have Zahra Fatima Sayyid Rizvi, Zainab Fatima Sayyid Rizvi, Murtaza Mehdi Sayyid Rizvi, Zain Musa Sayyid Rizvi, Ali Taki Sayyid Rizvi. And as usual, my co-pilot, as you all know, from Warafatna Zikrak, not only Kids Planet, Muhammad Hasnain Anwar Chaudhry, who has already put his hand up even though I haven't even said his name. That just shows how eager he is for today's program. I'm sure you all are also eager to learn, and I'm sure you will all definitely enjoy today's journey with me, your host, Muhammad Farjad Anwar Chaudhry. Because our forever destination, and just keep this in mind, this is going to be our destination for every program, because after all, this is the destination we are all preparing our lives for, and that is the zuhur of Imam Zamana, Ajjallahu Ta'ala Farajhum. And I also have a little saying which I say regularly in all our shows, as I'm sure you already heard if you've seen any of my previous meetings, but just to reinstate it and really imprint it in people's mind, to the importance of Zuhur Imam Zamana, Ajjallahu Ta'ala Farajhum, I will tell you this hadith. But before I do that, I'd like everyone to recite a loud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajjal farajhum. Now let me remind all my participants, the person who will recite salawat the best, and I want everyone to recite salawat loud, but whoever recites the best, I do have a lot of presents. This is just one of them. It's all wrapped up. We don't know what's inside it. Brought specially all the way from London from Uncle Najm Shah Sahab. So whoever recites loud salawat will get them. So please recite another very, very loud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farajhum. Thank you very much. Now I'll tell you the hadith. Rest assured that no one has a special relationship with Allah Almighty. Whosoever denies me is not my follower. The appearance of the relief of Al-Faraj depends solely upon Allah Almighty. Therefore, whosoever denies me is not my follower. The appearance of the relief of Al-Faraj depends solely upon Allah Almighty. Therefore, those who propose a certain time for my appearance are liars. As to the benefit of my existence in occultation, it is like the benefit of the sun behind the clouds where the eyes do not see. Indeed, my existence is an amnesty for the people of the earth. Therefore, pray much to Allah Almighty to hasten, to quicken the relief, for therein also lies the release from all your sufferings. Now, in view and in reflection of this beautiful hadith, I'll ask everyone to join me at home, you and here and Kids Planet, to please join me in the recitation of Dua Faraj. Allahumma kulli waliyaka al-Hujjat ibn al-Hasan salawatuka alayhi wa ala abai في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farajhum. And now it seems important, and it is important, to tell you the schedule of today's journey, as I always say, and just to give you a taste of what I have prepared for you. And so we have already started off with surah. Of course, you should start all meetings with tilawat of Quran, and I have with Surah Takathur. And today, for a little bit of a change up, I have replaced Allah's names, which I'm sure you all know. We recite regularly, don't we? Yeah, and my participants also help me in the recitation of Allah's names. But today I've replaced Allah's names with a manajat. So we can all, a manajat about all of us going in the lashkar of Imam Mahdi Ajjallahu Ta'ala Farajahum. And inshallah that will soon be coming up. So everyone prepare yourselves, because I will be asking everyone to join in with me. And whoever joins in, of course, will get the most presents. And inshallah, throughout today's show, we will also pay salutations to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his holy progeny alayhi salam, because undoubtedly, without their blessings, we wouldn't even be here. And we will also explore the history of invention in science. A long time it's passed a long time since we haven't talked about invention in science. So we thought that we'd reinstate the importance of invention in science, and Asnan will again be telling us about electricity. And I want everyone to keep close attention, because that is another way where you can get these presents, because whoever gets the right answers from the questions which Asnan answers, they will get the presents, okay? Okay. And throughout our show, inshallah, there will also be a lot of food for thought for your moral, eternal and spiritual development, which will all come from qasaid and teachings from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his holy progeny alayhi salam, and other pious people and individuals. So in a nutshell, as always, I have around 6 or 7 segments for everyone watching at home to keep you entertained and up to date. And inshallah, if we miss any of our segments, then I apologize in advance, and inshallah we will try and pick them up in our next flight. So we shall start off with the recitation of Mankabat Allah Mujhe Lashkar Mahdi se Mila De, which I have in my big folder, so it might take some time for me to find it. So in the meantime, I request everyone to recite salawat in tune with me, okay? Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina wa Maulana Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa barik wa sallim. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina wa Maulana Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa barik wa sallim. Thank you very much. That was excellently recited. And now I'll request another loud salawat before I recite a manajat into the court of Allah Almighty. And also, you have to join me whilst reciting the manajat as well. So, salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajjal farajahum. Allah mujhe lashkare Mahdi se mila de. Allah mujhe lashkare Mahdi se mila de. Allah mujhe lashkare Qaim se mila de. Allah mujhe Yusuf-e Zahra ki wafa de. Allah mujhe lashkare Mahdi se mila de. Allah mujhe lashkare Mahdi se mila de. Aisa na ho Aqa mere hal min ki sada de. Allah mujhe lashkare Mahdi se mila de. پردہ جو پڑا ہے میری آنکھوں پہ ہٹا دے اللہ مجھے لشکر مہدی سے ملا دے ہر ایک نشان کفر و ضلالت کا مٹا دوں ہر ایک نشان کفر و ضلالت کا مٹا دوں ہر راہ میں ایک دیپ صداقت کا جلا دوں اس خیر عمل کی مجھے توفیق خدا دے اللہ مجھے لشکر مہدی سے ملا دے اسلام نظر آنے لگا چاک گریباں اسلام نظر آنے لگا چاک آزادی سے پھرنے لگ پھر مرحب دوران وارث کو محمد کے کوئی کیسے صدا دے اللہ مجھے لشکر مہدی سے ملا دے اللہ مجھے لشکر مہدی سے ملا دے لکھ دے میری تقدیر میں مولا کی غلامی لکھ دے میری تقدیر میں مولا کی غلامی حاصل مجھے ہو جائے اعزاز دوامی ہر خواہش دنیا کو میرے دل سے مٹا دے اللہ مجھے لشکر مہدی سے ملا دے شبیر کے انصار میں شامل ہو میرا نام شبیر کے انصار میں شامل ہو میرا نام جوہر کا ہو محشر میں وہی ہو میرا انجام خاک قدم حضرت شبیر بنا دے. اللہ مجھے لشکر مہدی سے ملا دے. خنجر کی زباں کاٹ دوں میں شہر کی جان سے. خنجر کی زباں کاٹ دوں میں شہر کی جان سے. فغانے لگے تیر و کمان سے. ایک ایسا تبسم میرے ہونٹوں پہ سجا دے. اللہ مجھے لشکر مہدی سے ملا دے. دیکھوں نہ گر اٹھے ہوئے پردائے غیبت. دیکھوں نہ اگر اٹھتے ہوئے پردائے غیبت. ہائے جو میرے بعد یہاں حضرت حجت. تربت میں کوئی عبد میرا شان ہلا دے. اللہ مجھے لشکر مہدی سے ملا دے. اللہ مجھے لشکر مہدی سے ملا دے. اللہ مجھے لشکر مہدی سے ملا دے. اللہ ہمیں لشکر مہدی سے ملا دے. ایسا نہ ہو آقا میرا حل من کی صدا دے. اللہم صلی علی محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجہم. اللہم صلی علی محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجہم. Ilahi Ameen, Ilahi Ameen. Inshallah, we will all be inside Lashkar Mahdi Ajallahu Ta'ala Farajhum. Indeed, it is the greatest blessing of Allah Almighty if we are. And now I would like to call Sister Zahra and Sister Zainab to please come on stage and recite prayer of Fatima. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajhum.
On the day that Hussein was born, the Prophet took him in his arms. He looked at him with grace, but tears came rolling down his face. Ya Hussein, 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 Ya Hussein. Fatima saw this sight that left her in a fright. Father, why do you cry? The Prophet replied, my love, the tyrants will kill Hussein. He'll cry out for help many times, yet they will continue with their crimes. Ya Hussein, 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 Ya Hussein. After the tragic death of Hussein, the oppressors will parade Zainab. They'll take her through Kufa and Sham, the mighty daughter of my Imam. Ya Hussein, 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 Ya Hussein. Fatima began to weep, felt her neck very deep. Father, will I be there? Father, will you be there? Fatima looked up high, raised her hands in the sky. Those who mourn my Hussein, God keep them safe, give them no pain. We are the prayer of Fatima, daughter of the Prophet of Allah. We will never stop remembering Hussein till the last day. You'll hear his name everywhere we go, every step we take. We'll remember in this world why we came as a prayer of Fatima. Our mission we will fulfill. From every corner of this world you will hear Hussein, 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 Hussein.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajhum. Thank you very much. That was very beautifully recited and tells us about the great personality of not only Sayyidah Fatima Zahra salamullah alayha, but also the personality of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. And now I'll request Ali Taki, who's waiting to be for me to call him up, and tell us more about what happens when you think of thirst. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajhum.
Whenever you drink water, always remember the thirst of Bibi Skina and Imam Hussain. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajhum. That was beautiful, and in such a short time he managed to say something so beautiful that if we truly listen to it and actually make this part of our day-to-day lives, it can be very great for us. Because of course we always say, oh, we're so hungry, we're so thirsty, but if we compare ourselves to those people in Karbala who were so thirsty and hungry throughout the whole time they were there, then we are nothing. So this is a great lesson for us, and thank you very much, Ali Taki. That was very beautifully said. And now I think Murtaza Mehdi has a poem about Sayyidah Zainab al-Kubra salamullah alayha, and I'll call him up to please recite that for us. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajhum.
Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam. Oh, I know about Damascus, where Zainab's star shines. Zainab, the glorious daughter of Ali, who has nursed humanity from Karbala throughout times to keep Islam alive. Humanity sings peace and joy at once to everyone who seems still in love, to see the trees of truth bloom and the world be rid of gloom. If there is one thing that the entire universe shares, It is the life of Zainab to read and care. Dreams and hopes will come true when Zainab and her goals are understood. Inside us is the warmth of Allah's love. When we think of Zainab, the patient princess, that is why the Ahlul Bayt of Rasulullah are the light of saviors here and after this life. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajhum. That just told us a bit about the personality of Sayyidah Zainab Kubra Salamullah alayha, who, as you all know, last week we celebrated her birthday, and thank you very much. That was very beautiful, and it showed us some of the great virtues of Sayyidah Zainab Kubra Salamullah alayha. And now, just so I don't mind if, I'm sure you guys don't mind if I take a bit of your time, but I have a beautiful saying from Imam Ali al-Sadiq alayhi salam, who says about humility. So because today's topic is about self-development, anything, of course, all these sayings, all these qasaid of the Ahl Bayt alayhi salam, also self-development for us, because what we can learn from their lives, if we actually adapt that into our lives, that is the greatest form of learning. But I also have a beautiful saying here about humility. Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam says, Luqman said to his son, "There is no dignity save for one who lowers themselves out of love for God, and there is no exaltation for one save for one who behaves humbly out of love of God." He alayhi salam also says, "Surely there are in the sky two angels pertinent to the servants of God. Thus, whoever it is behaves humbly out of love of God, they would upgrade them, and whoever it is behaves arrogantly, they would let them down." So therefore, the importance of humbleness and humility in our lives is great. We shall not feel proud of every little thing we've done. Of course, we shall feel proud, but not overdo it, as you can say in English. You should not overdo it. And you should always feel down to earth, because feeling down to earth and humble is surely a sign of the righteous and people close to Allah Almighty. And now, to tell us more about the Ahl Bayt alayhim salam, why they're so special, what has Allah told us about the Ahl Bayt alayhim salam, I'm going to call Zain Musa to tell us the translation of Surah Ashura's 23rd ayah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajhum.
Surah Ashura. Allah says in the Holy Quran in the 23rd ayah of Ashura, "Say, O my beloved, I, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, don't ask for you for any reward or favor that I have filled your hearts with Islam, except that you should love and adore my nearest and dearest." The companions of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Who are the nearest and dearest to you?" The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "They are Ali alayhi salam, Fatima salatullah alayha, and their children Hassan alayhi salam and Hassan alayhi salam." Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajhum. That just showed us the importance of Panjatan Pak. And as you all know, as you might have known if you've ever heard me recite Main to Panjatan ka Ghulamuhu before, after this translation of this surah, I usually recite Main to Panjatan ka Ghulamuhu. And I think it's very nice if you could join in and I recite that, because that surah just shows us the love of Panjatan Pak. So I have a beautiful mankabat, so everyone could please recite salawat before I start. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajhum. मैं तो पंजतन का गुलाम हूँ, 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 मैं मुरीद खैर خیر الانام ہوں میں غلام ابن غلام ہوں میں تو پنجتن کا غلام ہوں میں تو پنجتن کا غلام ہوں مجھے عشق ہے تو خدا سے ہے مجھے عشق ہے تو رسول سے مجھے عشق ہے تو خدا سے ہے مجھے عشق ہے تو رسول سے میرے منہ سے آئے مہک صدا میرے منہ سے آئے مہک صدا لوں میں نام ان کا جو جھوم کے میں تو پنجتن کا غلام ہوں میں تو پنجتن کا غلام ہوں. And a share that just sums it all up. لِي خَمْسَةٌ نُطْفِي بِهَا لِي خَمْسَةٌ نُطْفِي بِهَا حَرَّ الْوَبَاءِ الْحَاتِمَةِ لِي خَمْسَةٌ نُطْفِي بِهَا حَرَّ الْوَبَاءِ الْحَاتِمَةِ المصطفى والمرتضى المصطفى والمرتضى وابناهما والفاطمة میں تو پنجتن کا غلام ہوں میں تو پنجتن کا غلام ہوں. اللہم صلی علی محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجہم. Of course, there are many more couplets to that manqabat, but I don't want to take too much of my participants' time. And now I think it's important for quiz time. So I'll ask Hasnain to come on stage and tell us about electricity and the questions around electricity. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajhum. So remember to listen very carefully, everyone here, or else you won't get the presents.
Electricity. Early humankind used wood and peat fires to generate light and heat. As civilization progressed, oil lamps, gas lights, and candles were used for lighting, and coal-burning stoves warmed houses. However, as early as 600 BCE in ancient Greece, Thales of Maltus had discovered that rubbing amber against a fur cloth would attract particles of straw. Centuries later, in 1600, this effect was investigated by Dr. William Gilbert, who first wrote of the word electric in a report on the theory of magnetism. Gradually, the principles of electricity began to be understood, but it was Thomas Edison's invention of the electric light bulb in 1878 that the era of electric power began. Along with the light bulb, Edison invented more than 2,000 new products, including switches, fuses, sockets, and meters. By September of 1882, Edison had opened a central station in Manhattan, New York, and was able to supply electricity to a square mile of New York. Along with Edison, the other great inventor in this area was creation-born Nikola Tesla. In the late 1800s, he pioneered the generation, transmission, and use of alternating current, AC, electricity, which can be transmitted over much greater distances than direct current, DC, which Edison had used. AC made it possible for people to have electricity in their homes. It is Tesla's AC current that we use today, allowing us all the electric conveniences of modern life. A bolt of lightning lasting less than a second can measure up to 3 million volts. Salawat. Allahumma salli ala
wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajhum.
So these are the questions. I read my electricity, and now if you're listening carefully, you'll be able to answer these questions. Who first wrote the word electric?
Dr. William Gills.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like 3 answers. So what should I do? I'll give everyone each one.
That's right, bro.
Next time it'll be first come. So whoever does it right first, it's gonna be that. But I'm in a generous mood right now. So
The second question is, who made the electric light bulb?
Thomas Edison.
Yep.
2 presents. There you go.
The third
That happens
question
when you
is,
listen carefully.
a bolt of lightning lasting less than a second can measure up to what?
3,000 volts.
3 million volts.
3 million.
Is it 3 million? Oh, looks like Murtaza was really listening carefully and paid close attention. And I'll have to check the reliability of his answers, because you were sitting close together. Maybe you peeked over there. But if you didn't, that's very good. Well done for listening. But inshallah, we also have a few more presents, 2 more presents, luckily enough. So I'll give that to each Sister Zahra and Sister Zainab, so we can all celebrate today. And I'm sure you also enjoyed today's evening, as did my participants. I'm sure they did. And inshallah, today's main message was about self-development, how we can improve ourselves through humility and humbleness, because the whole family of the Prophet ﷺ emphasized on humility and the importance of it. Even Allah Almighty says in the Holy Quran about the importance of humility. So I hope you've learned a lot in today's meeting, and inshallah keep us in our du'as, and we will see you next time.